This is Ask John in April, where you get to ask us pretty much any question. And the question that we've been getting a lot lately is, should we go back to school if schools open during this coronavirus pandemic? And that's a big question because, you know, we're both parents.
I'm a teacher, so let's talk.
Yeah, what you think? We've been thinking about a lot lately, and, just been going back and forth with this because the one thing that I'm seeing is happening now is that our schools in particular are seemingly giving us the option to bring our kids back or leave them at home. They're going to try to have some sort of online option available for you, even if kids are actually physically in the building still.
You know, I feel like as a parent, I'm not sure if I'm totally comfortable with my kids like that.
Right.
I mean, I don't know how you feel. I mean, you are my kid's dad.
That's true.
And I'm like, my kids.
Yes, I feel very similar to you, I think.
Yeah.
I think my main issue is, obviously, parents want their kids to be safe. And I think all of us have always felt, when we think about kids, that they are like germ factories.
Listen. Don't let me tell you stories, okay? Don't get me started.
You've already told me stories, and they're all disgusting. I'm saying these kids...
I won't gross you guys out.
Yeah, I mean, these kids do all kind of junk that is, like, so unsanitary. And you're
they
talking...
don't mean to. It's not on purpose.
Yeah, it's just their kids.
They're kids,
right.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, our kids, John's in high school, Julia's about to be an 8th grader, so you would assume that those kids do a little better. And they do. They do better than, say, 3rd and 4th graders or 2nd graders or whatever. But I still don't think everyone is practicing great hygiene at that age. And so you take your kid to school, they get the virus from some kid, they bring it back home, and of course your kid probably be fine because, they're young, but, if you're old, and we got a lot of kids whose grandparents take care of them and stuff like that.
Yeah, and a lot of kids have grandparents, and then the kids bring it to school to teachers, and teachers are taking it home to their families. So it's kind of like you just don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, I like the idea of kids getting back to school because they're home, they've been home. It's a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, I know my kids are ready to get back to playing sports and, being with their friends, but, I just feel like part of me is just like the safety part, man. Can we really actually keep the virus from spreading at school when you're not even letting people sit in restaurants together?
Right, that's
or
true.
You really don't want people to sit in restaurants together. So it's kind of like I'm just not sure.
So my cousin Brian was watching something yesterday. He was watching this sort of like town hall type thing about whether or not kids should come back to school and stuff. Somebody made the point that the people making the decision about whether or not you should come back to school are doing it in a Zoom meeting. So they're not even doing it in person. They're making a decision about whether or not you should be your kid back to school, and they're socially distanced right now.
That is such a good
They're
point.
in quarantine making a decision about whether or not you should take your kid back to school.
I never thought about that. I just feel like because of the unknown, that is what makes me have a little fear when it comes to my kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And all the kids that are at
And I'm sure
school.
everyone who's watching this, who's a parent, feels the same way. So,
Yes.
so let's answer this question.
Okay.
Okay, here's my question to you.
Okay.
What has to happen? What would the school have to do to make you feel more comfortable about bringing your kid and dropping them off at school?
My kid would have to be in one of those round balls that they...
The bubble thingies?
Those little bubble thingies.
So John would be Bubble Boy.
Just Bubble Boy. And Bubble Boy and Bubble Girl would have to be at the school. Seriously, because, I mean...
There's no 100%.
No, there's no 100%.
Yes.
Now, I would say that, like my school, they're doing a lot of things, like new air filtration systems. That is great. You know what I'm saying? Hand sanitizer everywhere.
Right.
All those types of things, masks, everything. It's like you're doing the things, and I'm still like, There's always going to be a little doubt there that you really are fully safe because it's out there. The virus is out there.
Right.
And so I can't give an answer to that.
Right.
Whether or not you should send your kid to school, it's based on what you decide as a parent. But what I know is that a lot of people are really wanting to send their kids to school because they can't work with their kids being home. It's very difficult.
Right.
Or they are essential workers and they actually have to go outside of the house.
Right.
So who's there to actually manage their children with their schoolwork? So I get that.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
it's like,
so let me ask
I don't
a
know.
different question then. Because clearly the only reason why we're discussing going back to school is because the online option wasn't as good. What way would we have to make changes online to make it so that a parent would be fine paying tuition to send their kids back to school, even though it's going to be virtual?
Well, I think that, first of all, the fact that the kids are going through this period is bad, right? So I personally would not want to take my kid out of an environment that they are used to, where they know the teachers, they know the students.
And start them in some brand new school.
Right.
With
where they don't know anybody. Going through something like this. I mean, do you really want to do that? I would say no. Okay. So I would say people should keep their kids at the school they've been going to for the kids' sake. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now,
for their own personal sanity, for their anxiety levels, all that stuff.
Yeah. But as far as the online school, I felt like the kids still learned and everything like that. But I think the thing that was missing was that the kids had to do a lot of the work themselves.
Yes.
Because it was thrown on us all at the last minute. You know what I mean? Like we were not planning on being out of school for weeks and months. You know what I'm saying? So now we can prepare and say, okay, we're going to make sure that the kids get all of their work done in class, online, so that it's complete. Like we're working with them, and then when it's done, it's done.
So you're
talking,
you're
just like
talking
when they go
now,
home from school, they're done.
Yes,
you know
you're talking now about maximizing the online time, the time that the kids are with their teachers.
Exactly.
Maximizing that time and making sure that work is being completed there.
So I would say there definitely needs to be some parent help in there, just like regular school.
There always
with the homework or whatever, studying, that kind of thing.
But a relative level, a smaller level of
amount of that. Most teachers were thrown in not really knowing how this works. I mean, we were trying to figure out Zoom for half of the time. you know what I'm saying? You know how to figure it out, how to figure out Microsoft Teams and Google's Classroom and all this stuff. We weren't using that to that level. So I think that's where even the kids trying to figure it out. And so I think now that all of that is better, and we're going to have more training in all those areas, and I'm talking about teachers as a whole, all these public schools and everything are training their teachers. I think that's where it's going to be better automatically.
So then as a parent, you have reservations, but as a teacher, you would want to encourage parents and say, guys, it's going to be better than it was last semester. Last semester took us by surprise. Now we at least have plans and things that we know we can do to make it better. So you're expecting online to be better. I feel like online is going to be better.
Yes. I do.
There's a lot of things you got to think about in this situation. So I don't envy our principals. I really don't. I don't envy our administrators, superintendents. They have a hard job.
I just feel like the health of students and teachers, I feel like that comes first. Right now, with the numbers going up, I'm just not sure. Well, hopefully you make the right decision. I mean, we all are in this together.
Yep.
So
trying to stay safe. Trying to stay
safe and healthy.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Yeah. All right.
All right, guys.
See y'all then.
Bye.